One of the things that I have found most enjoyable about being a person right now is the fact that I still have the capacity to have life-changing experiences. Because for some reason, I think that I will forever be one way. I believe sometimes that I only have a handful of brain wrinkles that will only think one way for the end of time. But that's not true. I still have the capacity to be changed forevermore in the way I think and the way I feel by a video game. This is a very pertinent, very important video. I haven't even taken any time to get undressed after my work day. I got my shirt. I'm gonna blur it out, and I'm gonna censor what I just said, because I don't know what will do if they see me being emotionally vulnerable. I've tried before. I've tried in this workplace to be emotionally vulnerable. It's not the move. Final Fantasy VI will change my life. I already have forever memories that have changed the way that I think and feel. Within these first 10 hours, I feel like there's something else that's going to happen, because there are so many little surprises that I find incredibly nice. But I feel like it's holding back. I feel like there has to be more to this game. Not that it hasn't already been wonderful, but I'm just saying, when a game can so masterfully make little emotional moments out of nothing, I mean, it's not nothing. It has already created moments that I will forever hold in my brain, and I will continue to hold them, and I will continue to play the game very slowly. Celeste changed my life. I played through it multiple times, and when I first played through it, it changed the way I think and feel. Time has been wonderful to this game, and time has been wonderful to the creator of Celeste. And I just know that time will be wonderful for me as I continue to play Celeste. And I simply cannot go into more detail at this current moment, but I will be talking more about Celeste. And I know good things are ahead for this game and me. My Love Story, the show, the anime, My Love Story, I really liked that one. That thing changed my life. And I know it will continue to change my life because I've only watched 2 episodes of it, and I have a lot more to watch. I do know that I watched it on Hulu at 12:31 in the morning. It was an ad-free Hulu experience that was gifted to me by happenstance, and I binged those 2 first episodes of that show, and it made me very happy, because I used to look at myself in the mirror and say that I had too thick of eyebrows and I could never be desired in a romantic way. And I watched that show, and I said I should embrace who I am, because that's how wonderful that show is. And I know that as I continue to watch that show, when I finally decide to, I can maybe, just maybe, find the ending of that journey of self-love while I watch My Love Story. Because it's not my love story. It's my love story. This game called Owl's Awakening has changed the way I think and feel. It has really made me think and feel a lot. And I know it will continue to make me think and feel a lot, because I go back to a particular video on YouTube of somebody playing Owl's Awakening, Any Austin, VG Wham episode 10, and it brings me a lot of comfort to watch someone play that game and to be nostalgic about it. And I know that one day I will play Owl's Awakening, and I will be nostalgic for it. because I never grew up with games like Owl's Awakening. I grew up with games like Smash Brothers Brawl and Pokemon Diamond. But I do know that maybe 10 years from now I can go back and play Owl's Awakening and look at that game like someone may hold an NES game dear to them. I think that's a very interesting thought, to me at least. Dragon Warrior on the Nintendo Entertainment System. That's a game that'll change the way I think and feel. It already has. I've only played about 10 minutes of it. I really enjoy Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior. I love Dragon Quest XI. And I specifically have talked to one of my coworkers and he has shared with me how much he loves the original Dragon Warrior game. And I've been thinking about getting an NES for a very long time, for about a year now. And I finally decided to actually do it because I've wanted to play Dragon Warrior on an original hardware just because of how much my coworker likes it. In addition, yesterday I brought this NES that my cousin gave me back to life because it wasn't working, and I had bought Legacy of the Wizard complete in box. I don't think that game will change my life, but the jury's out. The jury's in? I don't know how the jury works, so I don't know how that saying works. But I needed, under certain circumstances, I needed to get an Uber home, and the Uber driver, I just had my little bag that had Legacy of the Wizard in it, and a power cable and AV cables for my NES. And I just, out of the blue random, asked my Uber driver, "Hey, did you play the NES at all?" And from there we just talked about RPGs. He said that his favorite game on the NES was Dragon Warrior. I'm not even lying to you right now. You think I'd lie about these things, but no. This is a very special moment I shared with this random person that I'll probably never talk to again. He said that the best game he's ever played was Final Fantasy VI. And the best NES game he's ever played was Dragon Warrior 1. He told me about how he lost his manual for Dragon Warrior halfway through the game. Or not halfway through the game. At the point in the game where you need to get the last collectible that lets you build the avenue to the final boss. And since he didn't have the manual, he couldn't figure it out. And he continued playing the game, just randomly running around trying to find that item. And he eventually found the physical manual, like, in his mom's, like, vinyl collection sleeves things. And he was able to find it and beat it. But by the time he finally got to the final boss, he was level 32. And usually you can beat the game when you're about at level 19 or 20. So he beat the final boss in 2 hits. And I just thought that was just a lovely little story. And in fact, someone else thought it was a really lovely story because he said that he shared that with his best friend, and his best friend replayed through the entirety of Dragon Warrior 1 with that specific idea in mind of leveling up to level 32 and killing the final boss in 2 hits. And he did that, and he said it was very fun. So maybe I will finally get Dragon Warrior on the NES. No, I will get Dragon Warrior on the NES, and I will have a wonderful time. Because I've played the first 10 minutes of it on an emulator on my phone. I don't know how I can really explain my desire to play this game, but I think it has something to do with playing Final Fantasy 1 as a kid on the Wii Virtual Console and getting stuck, not knowing how to get to the first boss in, like, the Chamber of Ordeals or something. I think the Chamber of Ordeals is actually something different in that game, but just the area where you find Garlic Jr., and you fight him and he tells you that I will knock you all down. I think the fact that I like the look of that game, it just has to happen that I played Dragon Warrior 1, and I just know I'll have a good time. I'm willing it into existence. I know that I can put on my hat, my hat that tells me that that this is going to be a good time. I know I can convince myself to have a good time when I play something or watch something. I kind of am going to force myself to have a good time as I play through Dragon Warrior. I'm not going to force myself too hard because then that's just not fun, but I know that will change the way how I think and feel by seeing how so many of my beloved RPG favorites had some sort of foundational bone skeleton that was derived from the original Dragon Warrior. And that will be fun. And it will change my life, probably, maybe. Yeah. And I actually don't even know the full title of this game. YIIK and Alex, who is an asshole. I think that must be the name of it. I've watched about 3 2-hour-long video essays about this game. And I want to play it so bad, even though it is such a bad game. I know it will change the way that I think and feel because I can play it and I can learn from it, and I can put on my good time hat so I can learn from it and also laugh at how bad it is. I honestly don't think that Y2K Yik deserves much more spotlight on this list. I just know I'm gonna play through it and I know I'm gonna have a good time. I just love RPGs, and I think having a battle system that is like really not fun Paper Mario, like really mediocre Paper Mario combat, sounds just really endearing to me. The story does not sound endearing though. A silent voice will change the way I think and feel because it already has. I know it's a little bit of a theme throughout this list, but I just gotta include a silent voice on this list because in 2020, it changed the way that I thought and the way that I thought about my own life. It changed the way that I valued my life. And it changed the way that I thought I could look at people. The way that I was critical of myself. In the way that I was critical of people, I was able to soften that criticalness. It's still there, and it still is a real not cool guy. And I just know that there will be an and when I rewatch this film for the 5th time, because it has always changed the way that I talk to myself, and the way that I am critical of myself. In the way that I despise myself for how I acted as a kid. That voice has become a lot more gentle. And I know it doesn't seem like it based off of the way that I'm kind of talking about this, but it's really helped. It is a reminder that I can always find joy in the simplest of things, which is to say, a choice as simple as deciding that you're going to finish the day and you're going to wake up tomorrow. I find that to be very nice. Everything Everywhere All at Once definitely